Tonight, on Live from the Theater Basement, our correspondent talks with the director and some of the cast in the upcoming anti-Shakespearean comedy, I Hate Hamlet. Do you like Hamlet? Well, if you do, go away. You can't watch this show. But if you don't like Hamlet, this is the perfect show for you to be watching. Our correspondent Lynn Timmons-Edwards is going to talk with the cast and crew of this hilarious farce that will be coming in October with a live audience. You'll hear all about it here on Live from the Theater Basement.
Warner's Nursery is a family-owned and operated garden center in Flagstaff, Arizona, dedicated to providing premier quality plants at reasonable prices, excellent customer service, and expert gardening advice. Warner's Nursery, 1101 East Butler Avenue, is proud to support Theatrikos' reopening production of Native Gardens.
I'm your host, Chris Verrill. Tonight's correspondent, Lynn Timmons-Edwards, talks with the director, Mickey Mercer, and two of the actors, Rob Peters and Nicole Thurston, about the upcoming anti-Shakespearean comedy, I Hate Hamlet. Here they are on Live from the Theater Basement.
Thank you, Chris, so much. We're going to talk about the upcoming play in just a minute, but first I want to throw out a question, maybe the elephant in the room. How do you all feel really about Hamlet and Shakespeare? Mickey, you go first.
I think Hamlet is one of the few great plays that Shakespeare wrote. I really like it, and if I wasn't an old man, I'd love to play Hamlet. But no, I really like it.
Wonderful. Rob, how do you feel about Hamlet and Shakespeare?
Well, as far as performing it, I don't have a lot of experience. The only Shakespeare I've done is 2 different productions of Midsummer Night's Dream. I remember not being a huge fan of it, studying it in high school, but I was, young and dumb. And I really haven't gone back and read it since.
Okay. All right. So you may be typecast in I Hate Hamlet. Nicole, I want to also get you into this conversation. How do you feel about Shakespeare and Hamlet?
Yeah, I was an English major, so I love it. I'm thrilled to be, involved and very excited. So yeah.
Okay. Have you played any Shakespearean parts, Nicole?
Well, when I was a kid, I was in the Theatrikos version of A Midsummer Night's Dream. But other than that, I haven't actually been in a Shakespeare play, and I still won't have been, but this is a fun one to, get my feet wet, I guess.
Okay. That's great. I'll confess that was my first Shakespearean role, was Hermia in A Midsummer Night's Dream. And I'm a huge fan of the Flagstaff Shakespeare Festival, but I don't really like Shakespeare very much. So I love the title, I Hate Hamlet. Mickey, what drew you to direct this play?
It's very funny. It's funny. It's what I call an American witty play, in the sense that unlike English witty comedies, this comedy is very, very open, very obvious, lots of double takes and things like that. And I just really liked it when I read it. It was, it's one of those things you read and go, oh yeah, I'd like to direct this. So I submitted a proposal, and here I am.
Oh, okay. So you proposed the play to the artistic committee and then said, hey, I want to direct it?
No, they selected the season. And then I looked at the season, and I Hate Hamlet was already on it. I submitted a proposal to direct it. I did not submit the play.
Okay. Will we expect a lot of physical comedy in the play? Or is it mostly repartee with words?
No, there's some physical comedy. Um, there is repartee. Um, there is yeah, there's physical comedy in it.
Okay. Rob, what led you to audition for? I understand that you play a TV anchor, somebody who's kind of prestigious in his field, who is then asked by, you'll have to tell me who, to come and play Hamlet. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what attracted you to the role?
It's not a TV anchor. He was the lead on this medical drama that got
Oh, okay.
canceled, and he kind of on a lark really, and kind of got prodded by his agent to audition for Shakespeare in the Park, and got cast as
Okay.
Hamlet, and no one was more surprised than he was. As
Okay.
far as auditioning, I caught a synopsis of the play, and I figured give it a shot. I wind up going into a lot of auditions cold just because I don't have much of another life.
Now, I understand you were recently in Native Gardens, which was a fairly small part. How is it to go from, a small part to the lead in the play?
What's the old expression? There are no small parts, only small actors. Actually, with Native Gardens, it wasn't so much I auditioned. They were a little shorthanded. The director came to me asking if I could help out. I did. As far as size of role, I'll take whatever gets handed to me, honestly.
Let's
Just to
throw a
get
little
out there.
question. Okay. Nicole, so I understand that you grew up a little bit with Theatrikos. Can you talk a little bit about what it's like to go from your past being in Theatrikos to now being in a grown-up play, probably not your first, and what drew you to audition for this show?
Yeah, yes, I did quite a few productions when I was growing up in Flagstaff. And I think I was in a couple in the main stage too when I was a teenager, but I actually haven't been in a play in about like 9 years. So
Huh.
I had lived in Seattle for a few years and looked into community theater there. And, it's kind of a bigger city. So everyone is like very like takes it super seriously. And they're like, oh, what's your resume? And I'm like, I haven't been in a play in a while. I just want to do it for fun. So when I moved back to Flagstaff, I was excited to have that like community theater again to get involved with. So when I heard about the auditions for the show, like I said, I was an English major. I like literature and drama and stuff. So I was like, it sounds perfect. So I just kind of went to auditions, not really expecting anything, just enjoying the opportunity to get my feet a little bit wet. So then it was a pleasant surprise to actually be in the play, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
Oh, that's great. Now, Rob explained that he was sort of dragged into auditioning for Shakespeare in the Park and is cast at Hamlet. Tell me, what's your character about and how do you fit into the story?
Yes. So my character is very silly.
I'm sorry, tell me one more time.
She's very silly. I am
She's
Rob's
silly. Okay.
character's girlfriend. And the girlfriend, she really wants to be an actress, and she loves to act, but she's not like doing it professionally. So she just likes to be really melodramatic, and she thinks it's so romantic that her boyfriend is playing Hamlet, and it's just very silly and a lot of fun.
Oh, okay, that's great. Nikki, now I know we have these wonderful examples from the cast, but how many people are in the show altogether?
There's 6 cast members, and then of course we have the stage manager and the people that work backstage, and that number hasn't been decided yet. I'm a little bit slow on that. But yeah, there's 6 members of the cast, 3 women and 3 men.
Okay. And, we're still sort of coming out of all of this COVID pandemic, hopefully, knock on wood. How are you dealing with the COVID protocols with regard to rehearsal? Has it affected your staging at all, your direction of the play? How are you dealing with all of that?
It hasn't. It hasn't really affected the directing or direction of the play. Um, we do have to rehearse with our masks on, and that can be frustrating sometimes. You want to scream into
Yeah.
it. Um, but then for performances, we will have our masks off. And so I just went ahead and said, okay, I don't care if you have a mask on or not. This is the way the play's going to work. So, um, yeah, we're following the protocols pretty much. When we're off stage, we do socially distance. And like I say, we wear our mask in the theater and during rehearsals.
Uh-huh. Now, I understand from the release that I received that starting October 1, audience members will be required to be vaccinated, just like Broadway. I say if it's good enough for Broadway, it's good enough for Flagstaff.
Yes, I agree. All of our cast has been vaccinated, which is a nice thing. And I'm one of those that says, hey, if we're going to stop this pandemic, get vaccinated.
Yeah.
And I support
Nicole,
the
I want to
theater,
come
too.
back. Oh, yes, absolutely. Nicole, I wanted to come back to you because I understand that you're in the graduate program for creative writing.
Yes, I am actually.
So tell us, what are you writing and how is being an actor informing maybe your work as a writer?
Yeah, great question. I am working on some kind of long form projects. I'm, hoping maybe one day to, finish novel type things. But I'm still learning and
Oh,
just
okay.
kind of, I'm not putting too much pressure on it. And I just enjoy, having the creative practice. And I think, being involved in theater is kind of a very natural companion to, uh, doing creative writing. It's just kind of, you want to inhabit another person and, kind of
Mhm.
think about what makes stories compelling. And so, yeah, I think they work together very well.
Uh-huh. Have you tried your hand at any 10-minute plays? I know that the NAU Creative Writing Program is quite involved with the Northern Arizona Playwriting Showcase, which we talked about that a couple weeks ago, but that's coming up very soon at Theatrikos. Have you tried that yet, or have you toyed with the idea?
Yeah, I haven't yet, but I've definitely looked at it, and I'm hoping to, give it a go one of these days for sure.
Oh, that's wonderful. Rob, so you said you don't do much else except for theater, but as you kind of look back, and I think you told me that you had been in town for 21 years, are there any real highlights that stand out for you from your work in Theatrikos over the years?
Oh, good Lord. The one, and I think Mickey's laughing because he knows exactly where I'm going. Theatricals was the first time I was ever naked on stage. That was a treat.
Oh, were you in the musical?
No, not the full Monty. It was
No.
a couple of
Oh, the
years
full.
earlier. It was a political farce called Out of Order. It all takes
Okay.
place in. It was originally a British farce. We kind of Americanized it, so we set it at the Watergate. My character at one point falls into the pool, comes back on stage wearing a towel, and on my way out, the towel falls off.
Oh, okay. Well,
I,
yeah,
I, I
that's
kept
one for
tell-
the record book.
I kept telling them they needed to put a warning in the program for your own safety. Do not stare directly into the Caucasian.
Well, I can't believe how fast 10 minutes goes. But Mickey, before we sign off, just let folks know when does your show open and how do they get tickets?
Okay, it opens October 1st and runs every weekend till the 17th, 3 weekends. You can get tickets at the theater right now, and you can get them online or go into the box office is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I believe, beginning at noon. But you can get them online. There will be a limit to the size of our audience because of the pandemic.
Okay.
But yeah, October 1st is opening and we run through till October 17th.
Okay, wonderful. Well, whether you love Hamlet or you're not so sure whether you like it at all, I think you're guaranteed to have a good time at this play. Chris, I'm going to turn it back over to you. We will be once again live from the basement.
Experience an elevated senior living lifestyle at the Bluffs in beautiful Flagstaff, Arizona. Imagine an intimate and authentic retirement lifestyle enhanced by custom-tailored 5-star quality service in an upscale community at the edge of a picturesque mountain. The Bluffs in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Tonight's correspondent, Lynn Timmons Edwards. Thank you very much.
Good, baby.
I went a little over, but not enough.
Our director, Mickey Mercer. Our actors, Rob Peters and Nicole Thurston, thank you very much. And again, a special thanks to Lynn Timmons Edwards. Live from the theater basement, producers Ashley Larson, Linda Sotera, engineers Sam Bradbury, and Matt Brewer. Our technicians, Noah Bessler, tonight on This Is His Last Show. I thought his last show was a couple weeks ago, but he came back. We love him. Great to see him. And sometimes joining us, of course, Ava Haynes. Associate producers, Virginia Brown, Joe Manigli, and Michael Roulan. Correspondents, Mackenzie Chase, Jamie Hassapis, Lynn Timmons Edwards, and Sel Wasson. Crew, Bailey Cunningham, Sam Dickman, Angela Keith, Malene LaBerge, Justin Moscow, and Christopher Celestua. Dramaturgy, Theatrikos Artistic Committee, Play Curation, Northern Arizona Playwriting Showcase, Executive Producer, Chris Farrell. Live from the theater basement, streaming live on Sunday evenings at 7:30 p.m. and available wherever you get your podcast, is a production of Theatrikos Theatre Company in partnership with Northern Arizona Playwriting Showcase and Deutering Films. Theatrikos Theatre Company, Flagstaff, Arizona, is the theater company of Northern Arizona and the Grand Canyon, embracing the spirit of Broadway with such shows as the one you just heard all about. It's I Hate Hamlet, running October 1st through 17th, with audiences live in person here at Doris Harper White Playhouse. Safety protocols in full effect, 3 of them. We are socially distancing. That means your group is 1 seat away from another group. Masks are required at all times, and starting with this show, we will require a proof of vaccination to come in and see the show. Live from the theater basement, the weekly podcast streaming show from Theatrikos Theatre Company alternates between 10-minute short plays and interviews like the one you just saw tonight. If you as a listener viewer have input, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at theater@theatrikos.com. Live from the theater basement, streaming live on Sunday evenings at 7:30 p.m. and available wherever you get your podcast, is funded in part by Creative Flagstaff, formerly Flagstaff Arts Council, and the Arizona Community Foundation. Additional funding from Arizona Commission on the Arts, Flagstaff 365, BBB revenue from the City of Flagstaff, Calf Country Radio, and patrons of the arts like you. Thanks for joining us tonight here on Live from the Theater Basement. This is Theatrikos. Coming up next week on Live from the Theater Basement, it was supposed to be the Hapa Hawaiian Club from Northern Arizona University. We think we're going to put in a rerun or figure it out. We're going to have to figure that whole thing out. Anyway, we'll be coming to you live every week and with some pre-recorded ones every once in a while. And we'll be dropping equipment at our leisure. You just can never tell what sort of surprises you're going to get here on Live in the Theater Basement.